fact. Look, you all decided with a Republican legislature to cut the early voting days from 14 to 8. For whatever reason you did that, do you regret making that choice so that all of those people who didn't get to the polls early stuck themselves in line and ended up waiting so long that many people walked away and were disenfranchised?
Well, let me point out that while the days were cut, the number of hours were not. We still maintained 96 hours of voting, and it created greater flexibility for the supervisors. For the first time ever, voters could vote during the day for 12 hours during the day, and I can tell you, I heard feedback from voters going into Election Day that they liked the opportunity to vote either in the morning before work or after work, and frankly, I think the turnout is a good representation of the fact that people liked the voting hours and the flexibility that the supervisors had to keep their offices open.
You may have heard from some voters that they like that. I'm going to tell you what I heard while I spent 14 hours at a precinct in Miami-Dade, and the shortest amount of time it took everybody to vote in that line was 2.5 hours. People showed up at 4 a.m. and waited 3 hours. Most people all day long took 4 hours to vote, and I can't tell you the number of people who told me they actually tried to vote early. They tried twice to vote early. They waited in line once for 2 hours and abandoned ship. They waited twice in a second line for 2 hours, and then came to the day of voting and waited 3 hours. So how can you tell me that early voting was successful when so many people told me they couldn't even vote early because the lines were too